Welcome to The Snack, a lighter serving of Girls Gotta Eat.
This is a Dear Media production.
Enjoy.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
It feels so good to be back to The Snack.
Back to The Snack.
Just so happy.
I really am. I really, so much has happened.
I know.
But it was nice to take a break.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
No. I have not had a functioning thought in my mind for weeks, but I feel like all this stuff keeps happening. We can't talk about it.
Like, how dare Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively do what they did when we were on a break?
The amount of suing back and forth. I don't appreciate it.
I'll watch it forever. We'll talk about it, but I will watch them sue each other and the media back and forth till the end of time.
Well, I was at brunch.
Till the end of us.
I was at brunch. That was funny. I was at brunch on Sunday, my second brunch of the day, with three girlfriends, and they were talking about Meghan Markle and asking different questions, and I had an answer for every single pop culture thing that came up. And one of them, our friend Lisa, was like, "You really know a lot about this," and I was like, "I thrive in this. I make it my business. Me and Ashley to know all about this stuff.
It's literally my job."
People pay me to do that. Let's talk about people paying us today.
Okay.
Thank you to Skims. Shop the Skims best intimate collection at skims.com and in stores.
And thanks to Addie. Learn more at addie.com.
So I just want to tell you, I am doing great with my New Year's resolution to enjoy my shit. I'm drinking a Diet Coke while we record. Have you ever seen me drink a soda? Probably not.
So this is aligned with your do what you want.
Yeah, just
more
do
soda.
what I want.
Okay, but speaking of a pop culture moment, did you see Kristen Chenoweth?
No.
What? You didn't see this?
No, the cocaine thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you? She was on what? Bravo or?
It was some New Year's Eve
I thought she was on. I thought Kristen Chenoweth was on the Bravo Clubhouse, and they said, "What are your New Year's resolutions?" And she was like, "I need to stop having Coke." And then she's like, the audience gasps, and then she's like, Coca-Cola.
My New Year's resolution is to not have any more Coke.
You didn't see this?
No, I didn't. Now I'm Googling this thing to show you. Okay, there's some brand, I think it's Walmart, that had to discontinue this shirt because it says, "Let it snow," and it's Frosty with a bunch of lines of Coke in front of Frosty.
Oh, that went viral a couple years ago.
Oh, this is old news?
Yeah, I've seen that cocaine sweatshirt.
This is 22 news?
So, yes, Kristen Chenoweth revealed her New Year's resolution is to not have any more Coke. It was an insane moment. And literally everyone's eyes got wide. And then she was like, Coca-Cola.
She seems like she's on
so
Coke.
hilarious.
Doesn't she seem a little cokey?
I could see it in a cute way.
Yeah, it's cute.
She's just she got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But it was such a funny moment.
Well, tomorrow, January 10th, is Quitter's Day. And it's the day that people typically, at 10 days into the year, just abandon their resolutions.
Okay.
Because people have these resolutions to be a different person. And it's in 10 days, people are like, I'm not doing that shit. But I'm going strong.
Are you drinking a Diet Coke?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Why?
If I indulge in a Coca-Cola, I go regular. I don't like the taste of any fake sugars, aspartame, whatever the fuck. So if I love the taste of a Coke Heavy. I don't drink them a lot, but a Coke Heavy with pizza, that's an orgasm. It's so good.
It is. I was raised on Diet Coke, M&Ms.
I used to really fuck with diet soda, especially in college especially when I was dieting and everything. But I can't get down with that aftertaste. It's just artificial sugars.
It's just what we had in the house growing up.
Yeah.
What did you have always in the house growing up that was just your parents always had that shit? Probably just your dad.
Nothing. We didn't fuck with a lot of that. My parents are all healthy.
That's true.
I had to really, the whole Oreo gate when I ate a whole sleeve of Oreos and I would just come home from school and eat 14 Oreos. My parents were she has an addiction. I had a sugar addiction.
Right.
But when we grew up, it was the 2-liter days.
A 2-liter cola.
Always a 2-liter.
Right. No, totally. You
at a pizza party.
Totally.
Yeah. How is the Diet Coke here? Because we're going to talk about where we're recording from, and I want to know how it's hidden. Because it's different everywhere, and McDonald's has the best Coke and all that.
Well, this came in a glass bottle, and I'm drinking it out of a crystal stemware, which I'm loving. So it's amazing. Do you want to taste it?
A regular Coke out of the glass bottle, that's a delicacy.
Yeah, this is amazing. And it's crystal glassware with a beautiful, sustainable straw. It's really nice.
I wish it was regular.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we're recording from Gravitas today, which is where we spent our New Year's. And it is a private club in Beverly Hills, one of the fanciest places we've ever been.
But
so
approachable.
Approachable.
Approachably
Totally.
fancy.
Yeah. I mean, people are just hanging here today, chilling. And, it's got this gorgeous restaurant and these workspaces and this podcast studio. And it's brand new. So we're probably one of the first podcasts to even record there. And we don't know what their big plans are in terms of podcasting, but we're really honored to use the space today. And if you guys are interested in it, you can go to gravitasclub.com, check out their membership options and see if it's a fit for you.
It just couldn't be more beautiful here.
Yeah.
I mean, the staff couldn't be nicer. The bar is
know.
gorgeous. The ceilings are so high. And it's really nicely centrally located. I like a Beverly Hills location because West Hollywood's a little far from Venice and Santa Monica.
West Hollywood's the Bermuda Triangle.
Right.
It's so hard to get in and out
I
of.
know.
But I just love it. And while we're transitioning, we're going to be here and everything's going well so far.
Yeah.
So check it out, you guys. Okay. So first snack update of the year, award season update. Award season has begun.
We are
kicked off with the Golden Globes.
Yes. So probably because we are friends with Nikki and we've known her for a long time. She's a friend of the show. She's been on the show for a long time, Nikki Glaser. It's a little more than average on my feed, but I will say I've never seen a person host an award show and had it be a constant news cycle for 48 hours about their performance, what they wore. It is glowing reviews of her. I mean, every other post is about this.
I have not seen one single critique or negative comment from a regular person.
None.
I've never experienced that in my life. I don't think anyone in the history of anything has done anything that there's no critiques. That's all people want to do. And
Yes.
no one can do it. No one has a note. No notes. Everybody just collectively agreed. Nikki has united this nation. We have not agreed on anything ever.
No, I mean, people love a hot take of you all
Yes,
love this,
yes.
but it's bad. I mean, her outfits, her performance, her pace, the jokes. Now I'm getting served all the jokes that she didn't do because there's all those articles about the jokes that she didn't do.
Yeah, she goes on Howard Stern and lets you hear all the jokes she didn't do. I fucking loved it.
I've just never seen anything like it.
I know. But it is the hard work that paid off like nothing I've ever seen before. I mean, we obviously know Nikki. She's a friend, and she came and ran that set on New Year's Eve, the show we had before we came here to Gravitas. So we had seen it for the most part. It's pretty much stayed the same because that was very close to the awards date. But there's this New York Times article about how hard she worked. She had a team of writers and she gives them so much credit, and she had a whole process, and she ran it 91 times. She was at 3 clubs a night. I mean, just doing this monologue and doing the jokes. And no one works harder. We've always said that about Nikki. No one works harder and is I'm going to achieve my goals. And we'll look at her tour schedule and we're exhausted just looking at it. So to see someone that actually puts in that much work and then have it pay off, it's glorious to see.
On top of that, just gas her up a little bit more. I've always said this about her since she came on our show the very first time, 6 years ago, that she's always inspired me to want to lift up other people, no matter how big you get, no matter if you feel like you're in competition with them. She's the first person I've ever seen be so public about how many writers she had working on this. And maybe, privately, you probably have conversations with people in comedy all the time about this, but when people host shows like this or they do the roast, they have a huge team of writers helping them on this. This isn't just them. And I've never seen somebody so publicly be here's the whole team, 15 people or something.
Yeah, I mean, the whole team, there's a group shot that I was damn. Because so she came and did the show that Andrew Collin and I hosted on New Year's Eve, and a group of the writers came, and then they all went up to the green room afterwards and dissected it and talked about it, and it was very cool to see the process days before it went live. But she's the best, and I love to see this, and it's just kind of great for women in comedy. I mean, I just it's a good year to be women in comedy, if that's how we're kicking the year off.
Yeah.
And, it is the hardest room I can imagine. It's not a hot take. I mean, I guess it is for some people, but the brutality of that room, Brutalist did not just win for the film of the year. It's the name of that room. I really feel you're trying to play to the audience and the viewer at home. Meanwhile, the viewer at home wants you to roast everybody, drag everybody, rip them to shreds. And then you have an audience of people who take themselves very seriously, and they're sitting at banquet tables. And she was saying that Harrison Ford was saying you can't really even hear that well, which could be she said it could be just him and his hearing.
That's
but
funny.
it's just so not conducive for comedy. It's insane. I mean, all these people are tense because they're up for awards. They're also tense because they take themselves so seriously. Everyone's buttholes are clenched. Everyone's sitting there like hoping she doesn't roast them. And it's weird because it's like people want to be like, roast them, but it's not a roast atmosphere. They can't roast back. This isn't like a fair fight. Like, I get it, they're celebrities, it's punching up, but they don't have a mic. So it's not like the Tom Brady roast where she says mean things and then they give it back to her. Like, so she has to play to the audience at home, and to toe that line is just so difficult to do, and that's why so many people get it wrong. And like everyone who's even hosted it in the past has come forward and been like, she's the GOAT. She was born to do it, and she put in the work and time to like crush it.
You're so right. You and I started talking about this. I think I never really realized it when we saw Heather McMahon start to do the red carpet for E! And these people really, they just can't take a joke. You're talking about the most powerful people in Hollywood, in the country, that like they're roasted on the internet all day, every day. They don't really want to be roasted by the people that are like hosting the show or on the red carpet. They do not like play into it.
Yeah.
And watching Heather do it, you and I have been like, couldn't be us. Like Nikki's in a room. She is an outsider, essentially. She's a comedian.
But she was up for an award. God, I want her to win that award so bad. Can you imagine? The host wins the award.
Special of the year, right?
But anyway, sorry. But
it was amazing. And she really just took it right up to the edge. Like we saw a couple jokes that she ended up cutting. But I was like, I could see every single thing being like taken out of context because like Hannah Berner, for example, did the Netflix 2024 roast. And she did a line about Blake Lively that was clearly written prior to the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni stuff that's happening currently. And every single person took that line and ran with it.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's everything on my feed about how like Hannah Berner called Blake Lively a cunt and she doesn't support women. And I was proud to see all the comments were like, this is so stupid. Hannah's not like this.
It's a joke. Get over it. It was like a one line. It was funny. It was well done. Like the language that people use in those headlines is like so. But like to your point, there was not one headline about Nikki because they couldn't find anything. Because the writers want to, like the media wants to.
It's so clickable.
She like pulled Adam Sandler into this exchange. Best part of the monologue. You don't see that. Like they went back. You could watch Nikki because she's done this 91 times. Probably like needs the energy to get excited about doing it for the 92nd time. And like you could watch her be like, this is so fun and cool and unexpected.
So that was one of my favorites because when I saw her run that line, my initial response was, this is kind of cheesy. I don't like this as much. And she did it on stage with him and she picked the perfect person. Like she picked another comedian.
Yes.
And it was
like
just
friend,
a beautiful
probably.
moment where she's like, love you, man. Like it couldn't have gone better.
Yes. But I also just the Timothy Chalamet, like eyelash joke was it eyelash? Yeah. Like on his upper lip was like one of my favorites. But
congratulations to her. I mean, I texted her. I don't think I've ever used this word. I said, you were sensational. I don't think I've ever used that word before, but she was.
I mean, the fact that we got to see this on New Year's Eve, it was just like rapid fire jokes. Like I was just like, God, the joke, like the Ariana hold my finger, like everything was just like boom, 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 boom. Like just, she's knocking them dead. So I just really love it. And again, like she is truly somebody that you can feel proud of to support, knowing she's like a good person and she like supports other women and she's just so great. And so I feel validated in my like longtime support of her. Like when we met her years ago and became friends with her, it was just like a true, like you can meet your heroes sometimes.
I know. It's my other two favorite moments. I mean, there's probably a lot of great moments from the Globes, but I loved Timothy Chalamet's table. I just love to watch the three girls just kind of like yap it up. I love to watch Kylie Jenner, which is like I still can't wrap my head around the fact that they're together. My brain refuses to understand it. But like to watch her yap it up with his two co-stars from A Complete Unknown, which we saw and we loved. It was just like a nice moment. And this is not an original thought. You see it on Instagram a lot, but like I'm such a Gossip Girl fan. So to see Carter Bazin win an award in front of Blair Waldorf. And she's there with her husband,
who is also so hot right now.
They're in the same like frame all the time, like Leighton Meester and Sebastian Stan. It's crazy because I was such a fan of the show and they dated. They were together for years.
I did know that. I've had to like jog my memory on some of this.
Yeah.
And also when you say the name of that actor, I like forget. I don't know.
Sebastian Stan?
Yeah.
Okay, so he won for The Apprentice, right? And then he also played Tommy Lee in like a biopic, and he's such a chameleon. He's so brilliant at what he does. But he was like Carter Bazin on Gossip Girl and was actually with Leighton Meester for years. So to like watch them together. I loved it.
Yeah, I did like that too. In terms of the fashion, like sometimes I'm like, maybe I just don't like fashion. Or like maybe I just like the traditional. Like, I don't know, like I see stuff, I'm like, yikes. Like, or I really like traditional glam. Like Zendaya, I can say with confidence, I have loved everything she's ever worn ever. I was on her Instagram last night, kind of reminding myself, like, have I ever not really liked something? Like, what is it? I mean, I know she looks a certain type of way. No one's going to look better in anything than her. But
carries
with her like body and her looks and just her presence. But whoever dresses her, I mean, she is the best dressed, literally always.
Totally.
And I loved Nikki's red carpet dress, maybe the most. But also it was just glam and it had a big skirt and all that. And then I did like Kylie's dress, which was like an Elizabeth Hurley homage. And then I did, of the sequins that we saw,
everybody that wasn't in like a ball gown. It was everybody that wasn't like Nikki and Demi Moore and Zendaya wore a like sequin gown.
And I liked Mikey Madison. That was like the gold, that one.
Oh yeah, stunning.
Yeah.
I actually think that I don't know the first thing about fashion, but to me, this award show did not push the boundaries of fashion at all. I think people really just looked pretty like classic, like except for Ali Wong took a page out of I don't even know what, but
Ali Wong.
But she's always like that. She refuses to wear just like a normal simple ball gown.
Ali Wong was goth tampon core. Like that was
something
the worst.
else.
And I love Ali Wong, and I did want Nikki to win the best comedy special award. I mean, because I love Nikki, and also she was there, and I thought that would have been really special. I did love Ali Wong's special. I liked Don Wong more, the one before. This was fun. I liked it. I liked the new one that she won for. But that dress, like, I mean, it's fine because, like, fashion is subjective, and if she feels comfortable and if she likes it, then I love that for her. But it's like horrifying. It's like a nightmare.
It was this fuzzy red thing, and I also think like that's always kind of her thing. She always kind of looks a little wacky, and she's like, I'm not.
I don't care.
I'm not a comedian. That's what I care about, you know. But it was an interesting choice. But everybody else I thought was like pretty classic styles. A lot of really form-fitting gowns with sequins. The actress Anna Sawai, who won the Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Drama Series for Shogun, she wore a peplum, which I don't normally like. And I don't know. Everybody just looked fantastic. I was really into the fashion this year.
And then who's the one guy? Is he from Succession?
Yeah, Jeremy.
He wore the like seafoam green. Can I just tell you that like a man in a dumb outfit doesn't faze me? That's what they're gonna do.
Really?
Like men, if they look stupid, I'm not surprised by it. I'm like, oh, a man looking dumb. It didn't faze me. I feel like everybody was talking about that outfit, and it was just like, I don't know, it's kind of silly. It's like, I also like not taking yourself too seriously, so I'm just like, I don't know.
So Jeremy Strong, he wore this like seafoam green suit with a seafoam like green bucket hat, which was, I mean, I'm with you on men's fashion. I also like, to me, men's fashion is like tuxedos, and I don't know what else you're gonna wear. So the people that show up in like gauchos or like a tuxedo with no shirt under it, I'm just like, I don't really get it.
Some men can do fashion right, usually like more gay men. Yeah. I'm not hating on like a traditional tux like Miles Teller, obviously. He looked so hot.
We love him so much.
He didn't bring any spice. He just read the line. I don't know what he has. I don't know. I just wanted more personality from my man, my number one.
I feel like that about a lot of the presenters. I felt like a lot of them just kind of did these like weird little shticky kind of things that didn't work for us. They were presenting in a weird way too, and maybe that really played into it. Was like they had the presenters presenting at a teleprompter instead of the audience.
Their backs were to the audience, and no one will give me an answer on this. I feel like I asked Andrew Collin, then I put it in the group chat, and like people were just thumbs upping it, like they agree with it. But I'm like, can anyone explain it?
It was an odd choice considering the host of the show presents to the audience.
I mean, it made Nikki look better. Honestly,
it was weird.
Yeah,
but I don't really watch award shows. I'll watch like the initial monologue and then I turn it off. But you and I watched every minute of it. I loved it. I thought it was great. I hope there's more of this to come.
Yeah. I mean, again, like props to Nikki. I've never seen something be so well received, maybe ever.
Ever.
Besides maybe her roast.
It was crazy.
No one critiqued her on she's just on fire, and you love to see it. We were going to try to record with her today, but she went on vacation as she should have.
Yeah, seriously.
So we'll probably get her this year at some point.
Yeah.
Because she's been on the show like 3 times. And I mean, we mentioned Zendaya, and she got engaged.
The ring was beautiful.
Yeah.
Big ass ring.
So she just soft launched? She was like, I'm just going to wear the ring on the red carpet? Is that pretty much it, Tessa?
That, and then there was in her dress, you could see the little T tattoo under her, which is for Tom Holland.
The T tattoo, yeah. So she was just like, it is what it is.
I like them as a couple because they're just kind of under the radar. You don't really know anything about them. They're not like drama and a bunch of crazy shit. I appreciate it. They're just like a private, nice little couple.
Yeah, I love it. I just want to be, I think I just want to be Zendaya.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Okay, well, speaking of TV and movies, let's just talk about what we've seen in the last 2 weeks.
I rewatched Daisy Jones because you watched it.
Yes, we're rewatching Daisy Jones, both of us.
What else have we been watching?
So we saw the Bob Dylan movie. We saw A Complete Unknown. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I literally started listening to Bob Dylan when I was like 10 because my older cousin did. I had this greatest hits CD. I like played it all summer. Like I've always been a fan. And I thought they did a good job of like highlighting just a short period of time in this man's so long, prolific career. I thought Timothée Chalamet was incredible. It wasn't like my favorite movie I've ever seen, but I don't have like critiques. I don't know. I enjoyed it. And I thought the acting was great. And I loved the music. There was a moment where he played for the first time, The Times They Are Changing. I felt like really emotional about it. It was this beautiful scene. That was my favorite scene. And I wanted him to win the Oscar for Best Actor for sure.
I thought that was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. I mean, I felt like I was watching Bob Dylan. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Listening to the music was amazing. And my question to you was like, I watch a lot of like biopics about like musicians specifically, and like Bohemian Rhapsody is like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But you really do see like the beginning to the end of his career. And they really honed in on like you said, a very specific time period. And I was like, did I like learn nothing about this person? But to your point, what you said to me earlier was he had 55 albums. It would have been impossible to like encapsulate this person's career. And they kind of went in the opposite direction. And we're just going to hone in on this very specific like festival and style of music.
And like him going electric for the first time, which I think there was a book about that. Like, yeah, I might be a rumor. Someone said something about a trilogy. I don't know. I mean, he's got this like, he's still going. He's 83. He's still out here.
Yeah.
You know, I think they were like, let's just, do it about his kind of rise to fame, which is also like the most exciting thing to see anyway. It's like someone's rise to fame and, how they handle it.
After that, it's like, I don't know, you were rich.
I watched and finished No Good Deed on Netflix, which is Phoebe Buffay and Everybody Loves Raymond. No, it's with Lisa Kudrow and Raymond. This is Ray Romano.
There it is.
I also, again, really enjoyed it. I'm not going to give it like a loved it 10 out of 10. I just really liked it. There was like one episode where I thought it was going to go a little bit off the rails and get kind of silly and kind of dumb like A Perfect Couple did. And it just kind of brought it right back. Maybe they had like a different writer or showrunner for that particular episode. A lot of coke, whatever. It was weird. And then I just really liked it. I liked all the characters. I liked the way it wrapped up. I liked all the story arcs, and I recommend it. I mean, it was like top on Netflix. And I don't know, on a week when everybody was just consuming content, I was like, I'll get into this, and it was good.
Yeah. Well, you and I watched your friend Nate Bargatze's new special on Netflix. He's, one of my favorite comedians that's ever lived. I'll watch him do anything. He's just the GOAT. He's amazing. So that was really good. I tried to watch Conclave because when the award season's coming up, I make a list of all the nominees and I try to see the movies. This is like Ralph Fiennes and Stanley Tucci, and I love them both so much. And it's about the Pope dying and them electing a new Pope, and it's supposed to be a thriller, and I could not get through it. It was so boring. It's nominated for all kinds of stuff, and I love the performance. I couldn't do it. And I love like the Da Vinci Code. Like I love old religious thriller bullshit, but like I couldn't do it.
I have nothing to say except like Nikki's song "Popular." You're gonna be popular. I thought that was like so funny.
And then
I don't know anything about it.
I'm back on Southern Charm. I like it. I watch it every year. It's an interesting watch, especially this season now that like Paige DeSorbo announced her breakup with Craig, and to watch them together on the show be like pretty sweet with each other it's just sad. But I mean, I thought the way she spoke about the breakup was perfect on her show. And she was just like, some things have an expiration date and you just kind of, the relationship just kind of ends. She hasn't said anything bad about him publicly. He made a statement today also.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he just said, it's time to figure out my new normal, essentially. But it's obviously getting a lot of like press this season of Southern Charm because they were on it together.
Yeah, I know. We were going to maybe touch on Craig and Paige's breakup today. So yeah, I mean, I like just a breakups happen type statement. We loved each other. There's no like cheating. Like just as like I started dating when I was, in my late 20s. I'm 32 now or whatever she said. And like, this is just kind of life.
Yeah.
And I just love that, and I like, she's been like clapping back in like funny ways. I forget, there was one that was so funny. I mean, I saw her write "See You in Court" on something, and then there was something else that like was really funny. What I can't.
But people have accused her of cheating on him, and they have accused her of cheating on him with Marcelo Hernandez of SNL. And we were actually on Hannah Berner's bachelorette party with all of them.
Yeah, like
they're friends. They're longtime friends.
Yeah, I think people just made that up. I think people just want to talk about Domingo and they want to talk about Marcelo and they just made it up. Like I saw someone say like there is no basis for Paige and Marcelo and just that they're friends. They've hung out. We were all at Hannah's wedding. We were all in the Bachelorette. Like, I think someone just like made it up.
Well, she is commenting like, "I love this fan fiction."
That's what it was.
Yeah.
The comment of that's what her comment I was obsessed with. She was like, "I love this fan fiction." Yes, thank you.
I'm getting served a lot of content because I am more in the Bravo world than you are. But like, about people really liking this message that she's putting out, which is that like, things just run its course, and I will be a better person for having known him. The next person that gets to be with him is very lucky. He's wonderful. And like, that might not be the whole truth and nothing but the truth either. But like, I like this message of like, sometimes things just end. And I'm 32 and it's time for a new thing.
Well, and I think people really want to speculate of like, he wanted more from her and she didn't want to move. And it's like, okay. That's why people break up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a reason for a breakup. I don't know. Like, people act like it's this insidious thing, and it's just like people don't want the same thing. That's why they break up. I don't know, like why people have to say it with such a negative connotation. It's just like this is life.
It's been their main storyline on like both shows of like, when is she gonna agree to move to Charleston? It's like she's a huge media figure in New York City. This is where her business is. This is where her business partner is. Like, she doesn't want to move to Charleston. At some point, you got to call it. If your partner's like, I want children, I'm getting older, this is what I want to do.
Right. And if like Craig can't do his pillow empire in New York, I mean, he could also move to New York. Like it just, they didn't have the same goals and on various levels, and that's what it is.
I like the message of just, sometimes stuff just ends.
Yeah, sometimes it just be like that. Okay, let's just talk about our partners, and then we will get right back into it. We are going to talk about Justin and Blake. Sorry, guys. If you're over it, you shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be. Get back into it. If you're over it, get under it. Yeah. We'll be right back with it. Okay, let's talk about what's on under my clothing, and that is Skims. It's literally on under my shirt and my pants every single day. I love their Fits Everybody collection. I'm crazy about it. It's all my bras and underwear. So I wear their Fits Everybody t-shirt bras. I cannot believe the selection of colors and sizes. They really provide so much. So today I have the cocoa brown on.
I just ordered that color.
You did?
Yeah, I have like nudes and blacks and beiges, but not the cocoa brown.
Me too.
Yeah.
So I just got the cocoa brown. It's so comfortable. I sleep in it. Also, I've always slept in bras, and so I sleep with it on. I don't notice it. It's just so comfy. I love the underwear. There's just so much to choose from in terms of colors, and they also have the plunge bra, which I love. It's comfortable. It's soft. It feels great on your body. There's a lot of options. Like, what more could you want?
I know.
And I have so much Skims stuff at home. I have all their pajamas. It's soft. It's breathable. You and I love to gift it to people. You gave your whole family gifts for.
Yeah, I got my cousin Lindsay the Soft Lounge sleep set, which we both have. She was obsessed with it. And then I got my brother some clothing, which is crazy because he usually can't just shop like any regular old brand because he's big and tall. Yeah. So I got him these shorts. And they just like fit him. I mean, he's like a 3X. Like I think they go up to like 5X for men. Like they have so many different sizes. I mean, for men and women, like just such a range of sizes. Really, it fits everybody.
It does. It's what I have on every single day. It is like the perfect all day, everyday undergarments, intimates, and there's a lot to choose from out there. This is the one I choose. I love it. So shop Skims Best Intimates, including the Fits Everybody collection and more at skims.com and Skims stores now. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows.
Okay, Raina, question for you. How would you feel if you lost your libido?
My sex drive, is that like a serious question? I'd never recover.
I know, right? Well, the fact is millions of premenopausal women are frustrated because they lost their libido. But we're here to let you know that there's a treatment called Addyi that is clinically proven to boost libido in certain premenopausal women. And this isn't some sketchy gas station pill. It's FDA approved. Talk to your doctor to see if Addyi is right for you. And again, it is clinically proven.
I love that women have this option.
Same. You can go learn more at Addy.com. That is ADDYI.com.
Addyi, or flibanserin, is for premenopausal women with acquired generalized hypoactive sexual desire disorder, HSDD, who have not had problems with low sexual desire in the past, who have low sexual desire no matter the type of sexual activity, the situation, or the sexual partner. The low sexual desire is troubling to them and is not due to a medical or mental health problem, problems in the relationship, or medicine or other drug use. Addyi is not for use in men or to enhance sexual performance. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is increased if you drink 1 to 2 standard alcoholic drinks close in time to your Addyi dose. Wait at least 2 hours after drinking before taking Addyi at bedtime. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is also increased if you take certain prescriptions, over-the-counter or herbal medications, or have liver problems. Low blood pressure and fainting can happen when you take Addyi, even if you don't drink alcohol or take other medicines. Do not take if you are allergic to any of the ingredients in Addyi. Allergic reactions may include hives, itching, or trouble breathing. Sleepiness, sometimes serious, can occur. Common side effects include dizziness, nausea, tiredness, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, and dry mouth. See full PI and medication guide, including boxed warning, at addy.com/PI or call 844-PINK-PILL. Addyi.
That is ADDYI.com.
So, as we mentioned, there's a lot of news out of the Blake and Justin, it ends with us sphere. It just in the last 2 weeks, I mean, this craziness has erupted.
This is a Roman Empire for me. I can't get enough of it. Like, I will stay on this forever. Like, I've seen some comments like, I'm over it. How? This is wild.
You never see
like releasing text messages and like exposing like a PR smear campaign. Like this has been wild.
I mean, that's why I always said Scandal was such a huge thing.
Right.
Because you never, ever get to see people being this messy that are famous. And, you know, she basically said that Justin Baldoni created a hostile work environment for her and was inventing additional sexual scenes for her to participate in with him and coming into her dressing room when she was breastfeeding and all these things. And unearthed all these text messages with the PR company to smear her. And he hit back with a $250 million lawsuit.
But how can you just sue the New York Times? Aren't they just reporting? Like, that's what, I mean, again, like, and we don't have all the answers on this and it's like continuously developing. Like what we record now could be dated when this comes out. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And now he's like, I'm going to release all these text messages about the crew saying what a nightmare she was to work with. I want to say that when we talked about this the first time, we did lean Team Justin. I think we said that. We were Team Justin. But I also said I really didn't like how excited people seemed to tear her down and just like rip her apart. And, you know, once this all came out, I definitely changed my tune on it. You know, and also since the original stuff went down, we talked to a friend of ours who's in media and was like, Justin Baldoni is the worst interview I've ever had. He's like a real fraud. And that's his words, not ours. But like, it is always a little sus when someone kind of makes their whole personality like this advocate for women. And that's great. We need that too. But like, it felt a little off. And I think now it's like the thing that people hate the most is when they really do think that you're not who you pretended to be. Like I said to you, I was like, if he was like this notorious asshole, this probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. They'd be like, well, that's just Justin.
Well,
but because he's like this champion for women, it's just like, oh, you're a fraud is the vibe.
Well, now it begs the question, what was the motivation for this? Because, you know, she didn't do herself any favors, of course. You know, this movie is about domestic violence. There's a pretty graphic scene where her husband holds her down and assaults her. And the whole press tour was really not about that. She didn't speak out about domestic violence. She really made this press tour about like girls' night out and cute outfits and her hair care and her alcohol line. But I don't know that anybody would have noticed that as much if he didn't have his team release stories saying this is public opinion. And then on top of that, he went on this press tour about domestic violence.
Yeah, I mean, also that came from the production, that was like to keep the press tour light. That's what we've been told. Yeah, I wrote that when all this happened. I wrote that on Instagram. I was like, I do think there were missteps along the way when it comes to the press and like her actions surrounding it, but like, would we have noticed? And the thing that just really sent me over the edge was just like seeing those texts between like the publicists and everything, and them kind of almost like delighting in like how people want to take down women in the first place, that they don't even need to do their job that hard. Like I was just like, this feels so icky. And my gut tells me that if us, the average person, was there on set, saw everything go down, or was privy to truly what happened, we'd probably say they were both insufferable. I think that we both would probably be icked out by both of them. This is not some like Blake Lively is a god or just like, I just think they probably are just two egos that clashed in certain ways. And of course, nobody ever deserves to be sexually harassed on set, and all of that goes without saying. But I just think like these are two people we probably wouldn't really love in real life.
Yeah. I mean, you and I, of course, believe women and believe that they're in all kinds of uncomfortable situations. But he really is hitting back pretty publicly and releasing all these texts with the crew about her diva behavior. And it made me think like what's normal and what's not. Because he's basically saying like, she demanded to have fittings at her home, to be styled at her home. And I'm like, well, this is also the most famous person on the planet. Maybe she doesn't want to drive down to the studio every day for this.
Yes. Like,
that's not crazy.
I hate when people accuse certain women of being a diva. Like, it depends. Also, it depends on like how you treat people. And I mean, I think Beyonce doesn't like sit on toilet seats. Okay, I probably wouldn't either.
What does she do? She just doesn't. I
thought she like brings her own toilet seats.
Honestly, though, I don't go to my guest bathroom. I won't do it. I'll go upstairs if I have to go to the bathroom.
All right, hold on. Like, wait, let's just fact check this because I don't want to slander Beyonce, of course. Okay, maybe Miss Tina came out and said that she doesn't. Maybe. All right, it says that the viral theory that Beyonce brings her own toilet seats. She said that's ridiculous. So I guess she does share toilet seats. If I was Beyonce, I don't know that I want to sit on a toilet seat that anyone else.
I'm nobody, and I don't want to sit on toilet seats that other people sit on. I don't want to do it. I get it.
Like sometimes when you go into a bathroom right after them, they walk out, you brush by them and you go in, I think about Beyonce. And I think if I was Beyonce, I wouldn't fucking do this shit.
Absolutely. And if I was Blake Lively and a stylist could drive to the studio set or to my house, I would say drive to my fucking house.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this is ever changing, and my gut again could always be wrong. I think Justin Baldoni is like a fraud,
totally,
in terms of like what he pretends to be. I think Blake Lively is probably not an angel, but I also, it's kind of interesting to see who supports who, because like so many people have come out in support of her, and Brandon Sklenar, the other male lead. I mean, he posted that New York Times article and with a heart emoji and said, "For the love of God, read this." So I'm like, I feel like I feel like Brandon knows, I
mean, everybody knows, right? Everybody was on that set. And I do want to answer your question, by the way, to wrap this. You said, how can he sue? How can Justin Baldoni sue the New York Times? He's suing for alleged libel, false light invasion of privacy, promissory fraud, and breach of implied, in fact, contract. The New York Times hit back and said that everything in the article was meticulously and responsibly reported on. I mean, the New York Times, listen, I don't know. I don't know if you can trust any media, but
I have a love-hate with New York Times.
Yeah, but
I still subscribe.
I do think that this article was probably well-researched because it is about people that can immediately go to their millions of followers and say, this is not true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs. Like, we were talking about this in our group chat of like, how do you get all these texts? And then it's like, you subpoena them. What does that mean? I don't know. How do you get the texts between all the publicists and stuff? That's crazy. And like, some of the texts were so wild. Again, this is dated at this point, but I still love talking about this shit. It was so funny that like one of the publicists was like, if we wrote that would get us in trouble. It's like, there you go. You just wrote it. We can't write that we want a barrier. You just wrote it.
You just wrote it down.
It's like crazy.
I mean,
to write we can't put that in writing is like immediately admitting fault. It's like you should have called someone on the phone.
It's interesting to me because you would think people that are involved in this type of PR, like slander and make people look bad type of PR, they don't have the same moral compass that the average person has. So I do think it'd be pretty easy to offer those people $1,000 for a screenshot of a text message, $100.
Yeah.
But
that's not what happened.
That it
was like subpoenaed.
It was subpoenaed. But they're in a line of work also that they know the drill. Everybody would try to get those text messages if they could.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I just find it really fascinating. And then I'm like, it's crazy that they were feuding this way and they had to fuck or pretend to fuck.
Actually, when I rewatched the movie, I like can't believe it.
How did
they were so intimate? It was so believable. I loved the movie.
I mean, that gives me respect to actors. Couldn't be me. If we're in a fight, I can't record this. We've had to like make up before. Not that we fight a lot, but like if Rain and I have like some beef, we can't just come in and do this. It's crazy to me. Like I just can you? I mean, they hate each other, which they hated each other on set. She's over here accusing him of sexual harassment to the point where Ryan comes in and they had to bring in an intimacy coordinator, all these things, and then they still have to just like act like they love each other. Crazy.
It's crazy. And like also, you and I, even if we're having a bad day, even if we're like kind of mad at it, we
don't have
yuck
to
it up.
fuck.
We could joke. I don't have to be on top of your body kissing you. Ew.
No, when Rain and I are fighting, we can't even make out.
Can't even finger her.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm interested to watch this unfold.
Okay, well, speaking of women that people love to hate, Meghan Markle's back. And again, I gotta say up top, I really dislike when a woman gets so much hatred, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, like, can't we just keep this stuff to the group chat? Like, the way that people feel so comfortable, like, publicly slamming people who, just because they don't like them, they haven't done anything so terrible that men have done. They haven't abused, they haven't been violent, and people just feel comfortable being like, well, I don't like her.
Anne Hathaway did an interview recently around the time of the idea of this, and she basically said, like, people have hated me my whole career because of the way that I am perceived, essentially, and sort of explained the way that she acts, which comes off a little cold and expressionless and personalityless, by saying, like, I have been famous longer than I haven't been famous, like since she was super young. And she's like, when you get so beat up online, on the internet, by everybody in public, you do become like the shell of a person sometimes. And Meghan Markle is similar to me to that.
Yeah.
Like, she is so publicly just like dragged and outed that I just don't think that she emotes that much personality anymore. And she seems unapproachable and unlikable because of it.
Yeah, and when people usually don't like a celebrity, I get it. Like, they don't come across authentic. They feel like they're putting on. I mean, and that's why people love someone like Nikki, because she's just unapologetically herself. I mean, Nikki, she just bears it all. She is a real person. So that's why I think people didn't like Anne Hathaway. It's why some people used to really hate on Taylor Swift. Like, you feel like they're acting or something, but it's not a reason to want to like ruin someone's life. And I think people like always like have, certain people are obsessed with the royal family, and that's why they don't like her, because she ripped Harry away from it. It's like, I can't imagine a worse place to be than inside the royal family.
There's
like,
not enough money in the world.
It seems like a nightmare. And Harry is a grown man too.
Yeah.
And so it's like people, also there's racism too. I mean, whatever the various reasons, I don't really find myself to be like a big fan.
People think of her as like the Yoko Ono of like the royal family.
It's a grown man. I'm sorry. This is just like, this was not, manipulating a young child.
Right, totally.
Like, I'm so, like, we cannot be blaming women for things men do.
I just don't care about her. I don't care about the royal family. I don't care about her. There is an obsession with her too. People like stan her, so I just don't care one way or the other.
Same, yeah.
So she has a new show out. It's called With Love, Meghan. She came back to Instagram on New Year's Day with that video of her walking the sand, and then the trailer for the show dropped. I mean, it's exactly what I thought Meghan Markle would drop in terms of a show. It's just monotone. Like, what I want to do is reimagine cooking and take simple ingredients and elevate them. And then in the clip, she has this like angel food cake trifle. It's just angel food cake and whipped cream. And the other one is hummus with crudité.
The way the opening scene is her making hummus with like
crudité, Ashley, not like a bread that she bakes in the oven.
No, she's like, I just love to
garden.
really do things differently. And she puts a little olive oil on some hummus. It's like, my issue with it is like, if this is what people want, then great. And Netflix probably knows. They know more than us what people want. It's not what I want, but it's just interesting. Like, people are going to be salivating for this, and it's just like looks boring. That's really like, couldn't we have done something different?
This type of content feels really dated and out of touch to me.
Like, watch me make food with my famous friends.
Yes. I think it's been done a bazillion times. The Food Network has had to pivot. Every network has had to pivot. It feels like this content, there's no place for it anymore. Nobody wants this. I don't need to watch Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, or whatever, like, get carrots out of her garden and put olive oil on some hummus with Mindy Kaling. It's so...
No.
It's like, who is the audience for this?
The only person we want to see do that is Martha Stewart, and that's it,
yeah.
and that's all.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I saw a comment that said someone said that she's the next Martha Stewart, and someone was like, no, Craig Conover is the next Martha Stewart.
Absolutely. I think it was Shep on Watch What Happens Live. I swear to God.
that said that?
I think so.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, anyway, we just thought we'd talk about it. Like, I don't love the way people, again, get so excited to hate her. And, like, it feels like people just, like, saw her come back on Instagram, saw her get a show, were like, let's fucking go. Let's attack her, which is just weird energy. But I'm also like, the show looks boring and I don't care.
I think the audience for it is people that are obsessed with the royal family, obsessed with her, will watch her do anything.
Yeah, but aren't people who are obsessed with royal family hate her? That's where I just don't know. Like the
hate
camps.
watch?
Yeah, like I thought people who were really obsessed with the royal family, which is a weird thing, but you do you. Like, you know, we all have our own things. I thought they like hated her. She's like their villain.
But I think that they are obsessed with the storyline and everybody that's connected. So maybe they'll hate watch her.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's not for me. Good for her. I mean, I do think this is the exact type of content I expected and the only type she can put out. There's no viewpoint. There's no opinion. I at least thought with the hummus, we would bake a sourdough.
Not the COVID sourdough.
Oh, we'd bake our own flatbread. Like, we're not doing that.
Well, she probably will.
You think?
I just think it's weird they put the hummus in the trailer. But like, is Harry on it?
I didn't see him. I only saw like other celebrities.
I just think it's so funny that people like accuse her of ripping him away from his family. Also, like, if she did that, she's got that bomb ass pussy. So go off, Meghan.
I mean,
why are we celebrating?
What a flex!
Why are we celebrating?
He gave up his whole future with the royal family.
He gave up his kingdom for that pussy, and I think that's something to be celebrated. It was probably something in his book. I never read that wild book. Did you?
The cover is his whole face. No, I did not.
It's on a.
I've listened to a podcast breaking it down.
Okay, there was some wild stuff in it, right? Like kind of like dirty.
I think he was just like a wild child. I think he's spicy. I'm into him.
Totally.
And so she didn't want to like live under those people's rules. It's too many rules.
No, it's like a prison.
I'm trying to live in California in my mansion.
Yeah.
Like,
Are
I
they
do.
in California?
Yeah.
They are. Okay.
They moved to Canada for a little while and then
Just
moved
let him
here.
live.
Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Let her make her hummus.
If you don't like it, don't watch it. We're gonna hate watch it a little bit, at least for the hummus episode.
I mean, that's how I feel about this podcast. I'm like, if you don't like us, don't listen. But listen, because we get money for all the listeners.
The way Raina says that, like we're
Like it's a secret?
no, that it's like listener dollar.
Kind of.
That's not how it works, you guys. There's only 2 ads on this episode, so we're not making that much today.
Yeah, we are making less today.
No, we have a guarantee. You know what? Let's stop what we're doing. Let's talk about my favorite topic of this episode, and this is the Walmart Birkin.
Okay.
So how'd you first see the Workin?
I think Fat Carrie.
Fat Carrie. So Walmart has a Birkin knockoff. They're not saying that. They can't call it that.
No. But it's an $80 work-in.
Yeah, the Workin. Let's just come out with it. You can't get it anymore.
Yeah, we went viral, went crazy.
But I think they stopped selling it for legal reasons. Like, yeah, it's sold out, but I heard they were canceling orders. Like, it's done. I don't think you can get this anymore. I mean, so we love Fat Carrie Bradshaw. His name is Chris, and he really does amazing content. But this really went viral, and he was unboxing his Walmart Birkin and kind of showing that it looks good. People are into it.
People are very into it. It's all over TikTok, and people are like, this feels good. It looks good. I mean, Birkin bags, the Hermes Birkin is probably the most famous bag that exists in the world. And they start like $15,000. They go up to $50,000. I'm going to go on record and say, this is the ugliest bag I've ever seen. It deserves to be an $80 Walmart bag. It's not interesting at all. It's just a sack. It's a sack with handles. It's like there's no thought that went into this at all. It was just like, take a piece of leather and stitch it up to size, put some handles on it.
I will say that since August 5th, 2001, when the Sex and the City episode aired, and the first time I ever heard the word Hermes or Birkin, the Lucy Liu episode with Samantha Jones, I was like, I don't get it. And I still don't get it. And however rich I may get, I'm not going to get a Birkin. I'm going to go on record. I mean, you're not going to change my mind. But I've never been into it. Like, all it is like carrying your wealth on your sleeve, which is fine. I'd rather have diamonds, but it's fine if you want to do that. But it's just like, to get that back, like, I've never been a fan.
There's nothing interesting about it.
Yeah.
It's not just like ugly, it's just stupid. It's not like aesthetically interesting at all. It's like when you look up bag in the dictionary, it's a Birkin. It's just like a piece of leather you put stuff in.
I mean, I guess there's probably obviously the craftsmanship and the whole history behind it. I mean, it's a status symbol is what it is. I mean, there's a million things out there that like we think are ugly that are just to show that you have money and status, and they're hard to get and they're expensive. And it's just like, I'm not doing it. I'm putting both of my nephews through college before I buy a $40,000 bag.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to me. And when I think about actually what you're buying, like if you watch these like YouTube videos where people will go and look at the actual markups on these things and what this leather costs and what the cost of probably hand making these things, the value is crazy to me. So I pulled this from this guy's YouTube video. He basically went to all of these luxury brands. He picked their best selling products and based it off of that. What do these cost to make? What do they sell them to make? So he picked luxury brands and he talked about their percentage markup. So YSL is realistically low. They do a 500% markup. On what they sell. Rolex, 600 to 1,000% markup. Gucci, 1,000 to 1,500, all the way to Dior has a 3,000 to 4,000% markup.
Oh my God.
On what you're getting. And then he focused on brands and what their total margin after making these things and selling them. And Hermes, some of them are on the lower end. YSL, their margin is only 453% profit.
Rolex, which I take
Gucci,
personally,
Louis
900%.
I like Gucci. I'm a Gucci fan. 1,200% profit margin. All the way up to Hermes. 3,500% profit margin.
Crazy. It's an insult.
It's insane when you think about what you're actually the physical goods and the work that goes into the goods.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I wear a Rolex. I would want a one day, even better, way more expensive, exclusive, hard to get Rolex, which I'm like, how is that different than a bag? But I don't know. It's just like, to me, it is. Like,
that's your rich life.
It's a timepiece. It's like so special. Like, I also just, you know what it is? I feel like the Birkin has just gotten basic.
It's not visually interesting to me at all.
Like, it's just like this, I don't know. It's just, no offense. I mean, this is some people's goal in life, is to carry this bag.
Yeah, if somebody handed it to me, I'd think about wearing it.
I'm just, it's off-putting to me. I don't know. But, if that's your rich life, live it.
Yeah, you guys do.
Can I tell you something? This is a shocking twist. Walmart sells real Birkins on its site.
Oh, doesn't it?
Walmart sells pre-owned real
Holy shit.
on Walmart.
Holy fuck. That is crazy.
On Walmart.com.
Oh my God.
Search Birkin bags. 31,000, 26,000, 37,000 pre-owned on Walmart's site are all these real ass Birkins. Did you have any idea?
What?
The fact that the $80 work-in was living amongst the real Birkins.
But okay, is this brand new?
I have no idea.
I wonder if this is like, because like Revolve.
No, I think they've been doing this.
Revolve does it.
Revolve
has pre-owned and they do go up to like $40,000 on their website. But that's Revolve. I mean, they have expensive products.
I mean, isn't this crazy? Pre-owned Hermes Birkin, like new, $26,000. Add to cart right now. Can you imagine? Just kidding.
You just did it in the middle of recording. It's an impulse
I lied. I have a Birkin.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This Hermes canvas Birkin, it's pretty nice.
I don't.
It's pre-owned. It's only $20,000. If you guys are looking for a gift to get us, I'll take that one.
Well, can I also tell you, I don't like to carry something in the crook of my arm. That's not comfortable to me.
Also true.
Like, that's not where I want to wear a bag. I just love to weigh down my arm.
Also, this
I
is
just
like
like to have my bicep spasm.
Yeah, it's not comfortable. I don't want to carry something like that. And this is like a morbid thought, but like that's how people target you to rob you. Right. Like it doesn't look like you have control over it.
Can you imagine you got mugged and you had the work in?
I would laugh all the way back to my car.
Walmart.
I would laugh so hard. Yeah, you yelling down the street. That was $80. Shows what you know.
But like the mugger doesn't know Walmart sold him yet. He's like not in tune enough, and he's like, "You're right, bitch." You're like, "It's from Walmart."
Okay, because if somebody stole my real Birkin, I would say it's from Walmart, and they would just yell back down the street, "Yeah, right, bitch."
I think that Hermes like probably sent them a cease and desist, or they got involved, which I think is so funny. Like I understand it, like. Someone's ripping you off blatantly, you got to say something, but it's very funny because it's a different customer. Like Walmart's not stealing any customers that were going to buy Birkins in the first place.
That is so, there's not one person on Walmart.com that also has Hermes pulled up in their browser.
But apparently now you can buy on
That's
Walmart.com.
Crazy.
We just thought it was funny. And Fat Carrie was like, when he posted his unboxing, he was also like, also you can't buy these anymore. So I think they're going to be worth something.
They're collector's
the fact that the Walmart Birkins are going to increase in value, they are.
Wait, do you think that they're like on Etsy yet? Of course they are, right? Walmart Birkin bag, unclear. We'll get back to you guys. But I'm sure it's on Etsy. I'm sure people are trying to resell it.
Yeah, so I mean, for people who like wanted that bag, wanted that aesthetic, and got it for $80 on Walmart, go off.
You know I love to get my Pradas on Canal Street.
They did have a resurgence.
Fake Pradas?
Yeah.
Oh, I love to
Yeah.
get fake Pradas down there because their bags also are another thing. They should be $80.
The nylon ones.
The nylon one is insulting.
so rude.
I'll go get it for $20 on Canal Street. I can't recommend it enough.
When we were at Hannah's bachelorette, remember she had her fake Prada, and then they put ketchup on it and dipped a fry on it.
That's what they're worth.
It's so funny.
If I can toss it into the washing machine, you can't charge me this much money for it.
All right, guys. Well, that concludes your first episode of The Snack for the new year. Coming to you from Gravitas in Beverly Hills. Probably a lot of Birkins in here. We're probably insulting members as we speak.
Wall-to-wall Birkins here.
But listen, you do you. Thank you guys for listening. You can follow us at Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on Instagram and also Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on TikTok. I am Ash Hess. Raina is Raina.Greenberg. You can hit girlsgottaeat.com for whatever you want to know about us. It's there. And subscribe on YouTube. Share this episode with a friend. And we will see you Monday.
Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.